I want to talk now about this idea about jobs and how you said that a lot of the time, well, you use the quote that the ladder is leaning against the wrong wall in regards to people on the path to success and wanting to achieve things. But then you also talk about this idea of honor and leaving the world with with having good being done rather than just having a good reputation, which is an interesting concept, because I think there are a lot of people who like this idea of wanting to leave with this legacy more so for their name to be said rather than the fact that they may have done something that just put good into the world. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So it's really important to make this distinction between popularity on the one hand, being liked by a lot of people, having a lot of followers on Instagram or whatever social media platform you prefer, and honor. And honor is very different. Honor is about being popular for the right reasons, or being liked by the people you respect, which is very different, right? If I write an article that does, I don't know, really well on social media, but I have the feeling that it was actually a little bit of an easy article, it's a little bit of clickbait, then sure, it may make me popular, but it doesn't really give me that feeling that I've achieved something meaningful. But then if I write something, I mean, just before the show, we were talking about a philosopher whom I write about in the book as well, Peter Singer, the great Australian philosopher. Like if Peter Singer would call me up and say, Rutger, that's a brilliant article, I mean, that would be much more meaningful for me, obviously, because I respect him immensely. So it's important to make that distinction, I guess. And that very much is a part of what it means to redefine what it is to be successful. So take these abolitionists again. They were incredibly unpopular, actually. Many people really, really hated them. The very first abolitionist in the US was a man named Benjamin Lay. He was a Quaker, which was a radical Christian sect. And he was even expelled out of 4 Quaker meetings because they thought he was so annoying. He kept breaking teacups and, shouting at slaveholders and slave owners. He was just like worse than the worst vegan today. But now, obviously, we consider him one of the great figures of the 18th century, right? He was on the right side of history way before it was fashionable. So that it's important to make that distinction.